me, Doc. Welcome to the low G lesson for blues rhythm. In this lesson, we're going to be learning how to do some blues rhythm on chords and then a little shuffle pattern on a low G ukulele. So a note about technique. I'm going to mostly use a pick, but you can use any technique that you are comfortable with. Or if you want to try a new technique for this, you can do that as well. Some people say that picks are bad for the strings. Absolutely. Hitting anything is bad for it. If you hit the strings with your fingers, that's bad for it. You hit it with your nails, that's bad for it. You hit it with a pick, that's bad for it. So eventually the string will break. You have to buy a new string. That's how it works. Pick's not really going to do any more damage than anything else. Lots of people play with picks, so I wouldn't really worry about it. The one thing I would worry about is your ukulele body. I don't know if you've ever seen Willie Nelson's guitar trigger, but he plays like a classical style guitar, nylon guitar with a pick. It doesn't have a pick guard, so it hits the body and wears it away over time. Now, obviously, he's been doing it for a long time. Guitar is a lot bigger, and there's more body to hit, so it's not really that much of a concern on ukulele, but just watch out for that when you're picking. If you're using a pick, don't pick down and hit the body. If you're feeling that, stop that. Make sure you're picking out. So yeah, we're gonna be using a pick. I'm gonna be using a guitar technique called palm muting. And the electric guitar has a lot of feedback and a lot of power anytime you play it, so I've gotten used to sort of playing bluesy or rocky stuff with my palm right here, and I won't be doing that all the time, but sometimes I will be, and that's just to control which strings are ringing out. It's a cool thing to get comfortable with. You see, I'm muting them. It's just something that guitarists do, and I used to play guitar a lot. I went to college for guitar. So it's something that I do when I'm playing this style of music, especially with a pick. But you don't have to do it because obviously it's an acoustic, but whatever. You can do it if you want to. Like I said, you can do pick style. We'll be doing pick. You can do with your thumb if you want. I'm not very good at it, sorry. Like Wes Montgomery, or there's a lot of guys who do that. You can use your nail as a pick. I do that a lot. You can do finger style, like just idiosyncratic, whatever, finger style. Use all your fingers if you want. I don't know, you can do like a Pima style, 2-finger style, or even claw hammer if you want. Anything you want, but I'm probably going to use a pick for this. That's what I feel comfortable doing. So the first part of the lesson is 12-bar blues. Now, we talked a little bit about that in the last video. It is a progression. It is not the end-all be-all for blues, but it's very, very close. It is a chord progression. Chord progression is just a series of chords. I assume everyone knows what a chord is at this point. If you don't, it's any more than one note is a chord. So the blues progression, it's called the 12-bar blues, the basic one. So it's going to be 12 bars. Now, when you look at a piece of sheet music, I'm going to have this up here, so you So we're going to be doing this in G. That's a nice key for the ukulele, in my opinion. So as you can see, we have 4 bars of G, and then we're going to go up to the 4, which is C. It's going to be 2 bars of C, and then we're going to go back 2 what we're calling the 1, the G, for 2 bars. And then it's going to go up to the 5, which in this case is D, and then back to C, and then back to G. Now, the fun thing about blues is, remember when I was saying in the last video about blues tonality, it's ambiguous, it's major, minor. So as you can see, we're doing major here. All the keys are major. In a normal music theory, you can't make everything major, but you do have these these 3, 1, 4, 5. But in traditional music theory, only the 5 is going to be a 7th chord. But in blues, you can make anything a 7th chord, so that's kind of fun. So you can make any of these a 7th chord. It's G, C, and D, so you can play G7, C7, and D7 if you want, or you don't have to either, it doesn't matter. Like I said, it's ambiguous. I wouldn't play the minor right now, we're learning major, but the soloing we're going to be doing is going to be in minor, which we'll explain that. That's going to be fun. Alright, so the first chord in the progression is going to be G. That chord, boop, boop, boop. You want to make a G7? Remember I said you could do that? We can certainly do that. I want to play G. Alright, got that? Alright, the second chord in the progression is going to be C. Play it like this. You can also play C7. Alright, and the third chord, it's going to be D. Now, D can be tricky for some people. I know a lot of people have problems with this. I can play it like this, but this, to be fair, this is a tenor ukulele, and I have big hands, so I don't know if I don't think I can actually play it that way on a soprano ukulele, but I don't play a lot of soprano. You can play it that way. You can try and flatten it like this. But like I said, the fun thing about the blues is you can make it a dominant 7th chord, which is a lot easier. So if you want, you can just skip that one finger entirely, and then we have A7. So D7. Thinking in guitar terms. So now we'll start again. The 3 chords are got it? Or with the 7ths. If you've got those chords down, you can. If you don't, you can pause this, work on them. If you do have them down, we're going to go over this a little bit. I've got my metronome out. I'm going to set it to 100 beats per minute, nice and easy. You can hear that, right? So we're just going to play the blues. We're just going to go over it. We're going to start with the G. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2, 3, 4. 5, 2, 3, 4. 6, 2, 3, 4. 7, 2, 3, 4. 8, 2, 3, 4. 9, 2, 3, 4. 10, 2, 3, 4. 11, 2, 3, 4, 12, 2, 3, 4. Got that? Alright, so those are the chords. But like I said, blues is ambiguous, and sometimes you don't want to play the full chords for many reasons. One, you want ambiguous tonality. Two, maybe you're watching this to learn how to play on electric ukulele or ukulele with distortion. And you may have figured out already that sometimes these big full chords don't work very well with a lot of distortion, right? Why is that? The harmonics and the overtones, they're all clouding together. Dissonance gets amplified. Major thirds funnily enough, can be very dissonant. So sometimes you got to watch out for that. So what's the solution? We play what's called a power chord. So power chords are very popular in rock, hard rock, metal, blues, whatever. A power chord is basically taking out the identifying aspect of the chord. Traditional chords have 3 notes in them, the 1, the 3, and the 5. Do, mi, sol, and solfege. And the 3 is the identifier. It can be a major third or a minor third. So we're removing that. We're just going to play the 1 and the 5. And in this case, it's going to be in G. And that works very well in the ukulele. Yeah, that's why I chose it. So we're going to play a power chord. We're just going to play the 1 and the 5. And in this case, that power chord is going to be right here. The first note is going to be the G right here. That's the 1. And the 5 is going to be the D note that we have right here. 2nd fret on the C string. And you're just going to play those 2. You're not going to play the whole thing. You're just going to play those 2 notes. If you want to add the octave in, the 1 again, it's going to be right there. So you can play that. But now we basically have G without the third in it. So it could be major, it could be minor. That's a power chord. And power chords in blues are often used in what's called a shuffle pattern. And so like I said, we have our index finger right here for that G power chord. And then what if we take our other finger right here, our ring finger, and we hammer it down on the 4th fret of the C string right there. Sounds a little weird, right? But it doesn't sound bad. It's a little dissonant, but we're only going to be there for a second because we're going like this. So let me turn the metronome back on. We'll do that real quick. So we've got the G power chord there. The G, we've turned it into a power chord, right? So we gotta do that with all the chords, right? So next one, C. So we'll turn that into a power chord. So we have 2 options here, okay? The easier option and the more linear option, the one that makes the most sense maybe visually right away, is to take this shape to slide it up. So now, instead of being on the open and the 2nd fret, we're using our index finger to be on the 5th fret and our ring finger to be on the 7th fret. So 5th fret of the low G and 7th fret of the C string. Same thing, and we're going to use our pinky here to do that little hammer-on thing. So we go. And then, so that's, becomes that. This becomes that. And then obviously this, yeah, becomes that. Slide it up so it's 7 and 9. So yeah, remember I said there was 2 options though. So the other option, instead of sliding around here, if you want to stay right in the same place, we're gonna flip the power chord. This is a trick I learned from Billy Gibbons of ZZ Top. Now he is what you'd call a very lazy guitar player. And lazy guitar players are the best. People who waste the least amount of movement, who are the most efficient. He doesn't move his hand if he doesn't need to. And that saves him a lot of time. And that's how you play fast, basically. You play smooth and you play efficiently. So, like I said, we've got the G right here, and you've got the C right here. 5th and 7th. Now, look at that right there. We know that that is actually that string right there, see? And we know that that is actually that string right there, right? Same note. So what if we just flip them? Instead of going like this, we go like this. So now the power chord becomes G and C, but it's a C power chord. This is the tonic. And then for that hammer on, we hammer right there. So you go from this to this. That's right. So if this becomes this, and this becomes this, then yes, this becomes this. So 2, second fret of both strings right there. You're not playing the other one. So then the hammer on is still right here on the low G string. So there you go. You've got 2 options. You can play it this way or this way. Whatever way you want to do. I like this way. Alright, so if you are feeling comfortable with the chords, we're going to go ahead and play them together over the backing track that I have made. You can find this in the lessons playlist. I'll put a link in the description. It's just a 12-bar blues in G at 100 beats per minute, fairly slow, nice and easy. It's just going to go like 4 times. We're just going to go the chords real quick. If you're not comfortable with them, go back and practice some more and then come back. But if you are, tune up. I gotta make sure, I gotta check this A string, it's driving me crazy. Tune up, and we'll get started, okay? This is G. I'm gonna go to C. Back to G. Now D. C. G. Alright, we're gonna go back again. We're gonna do G7 this time, okay? Go to C7. Back to G7. Now D7. You switch back and forth like this. Nothing wrong with keeping it simple. You can add flourishes though. How's that? That's pretty easy. If you're having trouble, go back, do it again, no problem. Go click on the link to the video and just keep playing that over and over again. So at this point, if you're getting comfortable, you might have noticed something's not quite right. And the way I was playing that, it was right chords, didn't sound very good, in my opinion, rhythmically. That's because we forgot the swing, all right? So blues swings. What is swing? It's a type of music. Do 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 do. You know that? Well, the swing music swings very hard, and so does blues music. So basically, instead of dividing everything perfectly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we're gonna stretch the first half of the beat out and shorten the second half. So instead of 1, 1 and 2 and we're gonna have 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's called swing. It's easy for some people, it's harder for others. It's a cultural thing, really. If you grew up in a culture or an area where you listen to a lot of music that swings, you're going to be better at swinging than if you're from a place where the music doesn't swing. But yeah, so that basically changes this to this. Feel the swing? Yeah, so that's swing. So make sure that's your swing end. All right, so now we're gonna add some shuffle and some swing, okay? So we'll do the shuffle. See, I'm swinging it. Add swing without doing the shuffle. We just do the shuffle rhythm. See? Now that was pretty easy. Okay, so everyone should just go back and keep practicing that. Keep practicing your basic chords with the shuffle rhythm. And the shuffle too. You can either do all downstrokes, or you can go up and down, or pick it however you want. Like I said, hammer it. I haven't practiced that. That was weird. So go back and practice that. And now, once you have that done, keep going in the video, and we'll do a longer one at a slightly faster speed, and we'll just have a little bit of fun with the rhythm, okay? To have fun with it. You don't have to play constantly. Put some like variation in your rhythms. doing this, have some fun, vary everything up, don't be afraid to sound bad, try some different ideas. I could do some terrible things that sound bad. You just don't be afraid, okay? Just keep practicing, put this on loop, and keep practicing your shuffle rhythm. Okay, so that was the low G blues rhythm lesson. Obviously, I could have expanded on a lot more things. I'm not sure exactly what people want. So if you guys have any questions or something else you want to see or something I didn't do right or something I did terrible, put that in the comments. If you think I suck, put that in the comments too. If you think I'm awesome, put that in the comments. Ask me any questions about ukulele or banjo or music theory or whatever. I don't know everything, but I know a little bit. So yeah, just if you feel comfortable with this video and you want to move on and work on some soloing, that video will be coming up. And if you want to see what this will be like on a high G ukulele, you can click on that video as well. All right, thanks guys.